Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is going to be on Shakuras Plateau, MLG's version thereof. And oh man, I'm actually fairly pumped for this. We did see SPeCiaLiST taken out Resolve in that last matchup there. Phenomenal show of strength there. And really quite a good player. He is a Grandmaster. I didn't check his level, actually. I guess it doesn't really matter. GM, which just means extremely good player. So... But he is taking on Sasquatch, and Sasquatch has got a lot of skill here. We've seen him play quite a few times. It has been a while, though, since we've seen him. Man, it seems like, geez, it must be over a month since I've seen Sasquatch play, but here he is. He has made it to the semifinals of this tournament. There is a cash prize on the line. We're going to be having a good old time. Now, Sasquatch spawning down here as our pink Zerg down in the bottom right-hand corner. SPeCiaLiST as our blue Terran in the bottom left. Is going to be working on a wall off here. SPeCiaLiST in fairly decent shape there. Looks like there goes the barracks. Going down right on time. Only half a second behind. I was starting to get worried. He was half a second late. Cool. But Sasquatch here, nothing's quite yet. I'm interested to see. My guess is he's probably going to go for pool first, but we've seen some hatches first. Nope, he is going to go hatch first. So hatch first for Sasquatch. Interesting, and pool should be right behind here in just a moment. Let's just check back in on this scout. Sasquatch scout did come over here, does see where his opponent's base is going to skirt around the sides now, just so he doesn't get caught off guard by a Marine quite yet. But barracks here going to be complete. Looks like SPeCiaLiST going to be sending out his scout as well. And look at this, SPeCiaLiST going to be flying this barracks down to the low ground here right away. Interesting play, that is for sure. Not a bad deal. I think that may be one of the few times I've seen that in a tournament setting where somebody does that. They build it at the high ground and then toss it down to the low ground. But I guess it's just a safety precaution just in case there are lings headed his way from like a 7 pool or something of the like. However, he doesn't feel like that's going to be happening, so taking an expand. 3 minutes in, he's got that sucker down. Looks to be in fairly decent shape. Now Sasquatch going to have his hatchery complete here momentarily. Looks to be phenomenal shape there. Good fast timings. And the spawning pool not going to be far behind either, so good stuff as well. Going to be getting that gas saturated right away. Checking in on the units tab, 17 to 17. However, SPeCiaLiST with that mule advantage going to be taking the lead there economically, so not a bad deal. And just pumping out a couple Marines here, it looks like, for defense at this point. We may see some more buildings go down to either wall this off or probably put down a bunker is what I'll guess at this point. But he is going to be pumping out quite a few. Oh, he is going to wall it off. Tight wall off with barracks. Good stuff. And here comes his SCV scout. This guy going to cruise in here. It does see a macro hatch from Sasquatch. Knows what's going on here. It is going to be a 2-base play here for Sasquatch, and so SPeCiaLiST probably going to be backing out here fairly quickly and getting himself set up defensively for exactly that. Going to be sending some Marines out on the field here for just a moment. Going to be cruising out across the map, of all things to do. Interesting. May even decide to get a little bit aggressive here. And he's going to blind this tower, it looks like, for sure. Blind in the tower, and he is going to back out. Sasquatch with a couple more lings on the field, just droning up right now. So he may even transition out of that just because it was scouted so very, very well there. But SPeCiaLiST now with that triple barracks here. He's got one of them not producing. It is floating currently. So maybe a little bit of oversight, or maybe he just doesn't need it. Oh, there we go. It's going to be a tech lab on that one. Good stuff. So still a tight wall off here for SPeCiaLiST, and tech lab down on this barracks. Going to be in pretty decent shape, that's for sure. A couple more. Oh, double engineering base for SPeCiaLiST going down. Wow, he is making his choice right now. I think he's picked what he's going to do, and ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be mass infantry. Woohoo! Press 1 if you love mass infantry. That's what we want to see. I'll go ahead and press 1. I love mass infantry. I love just about everything, though. You guys are like, man, he loves every single build. That's not true. There's some I dislike, but there's not very many, that's for sure. But good stuff. We do have a Evo chamber out for Sasquatch. And does have the speed out for his lings, but that is about it. He's going to be working on Carapace level 1 here, so going for that armor upgrade very, very quickly here. And another Evo chamber down here at the natural. Interesting play. Let's just check back in on that units tab, see where we're at economically. Sasquatch doing a pretty decent job here. 41 drones to 32 SCVs, so the mules will have a little bit of a time trying to make up that difference now. So good job there from Sasquatch. Seems to be in fairly decent shape. Going to be taking double gas here. And I do like this macro hatch. I do like that he's going to be getting double upgrades, but he just doesn't have defenses right now, so he's got to be careful. I mean, here at 7.5 minutes in, he does need to start worrying about the potential for drops and the like. So we'll see if he's going to get himself prepared for that. And Specialist going to be cruising out across the map with a whole bunch of Marines. Does get scouted right away by Sasquatch, sending a Zergling over there just to test the water, see what's going on. Icefire out on the live stream. I've just got to mention this for fun. Icefire says, I love owning mass infantry with banelings and fungals. Oh, that's given me some wonderful pictures and memories popping up in my head. Oh, I just love reminiscing. Oh, good stuff. But no expand here for Sasquatch quite yet. He is going to be sending out his lings to the center of the map. He does see the movement here. Looks like he is going to be going for a flank attack, or either that or, oh my goodness, is he doing this? He is absolutely going to be going for a counter attack here. Interesting play. Ooh, supply depot going to go down, and looks like the lings are getting in the base here. We've got quite a few SCVs pulled here, but not doing tons of damage. In the meantime, Specialist trying to get his Marines into position here for some attack, and Sasquatch now going to be backing out to defend. He took out a whole bunch of SCVs, so defense here is probably going to be super, super effective. He's going to wait till go time. He's going to have an instant surround here, and Sasquatch going to be pulling these guys out, trying to get the surround on these guys. They're trying to back up against the extractor, but getting a decent surround here. It's a lot of units, a lot of lings getting in the mix there. And nice positioning. That's about the best you can possibly do in Specialist position. But man, he is absolutely losing that entire army very, very quickly. Nice play there from Sasquatch. Let's just check in on units lost. Not too bad either way, except this is the big deal here. If you hit Control R, check that out. 13 workers killed by Sasquatch right now, and that is absolutely brutal. That's because that nice counterattack, taking out that supply depot, and then the only thing that Specialist could defend with at that point there was his SCVs, and man, those links just cleaned that up very good. Came back for a great defense. Sasquatch knows he's ahead at this point. Notice what he's doing here. He's got his infestation pit, but what he's doing is taking double expands. He's going to really set himself up for the late game should it get to that point, but he can afford to do this at this point. So really, really nice play here. It is a safe play. Now I do want to mention that it is best of 3, so Specialist not out of this yet. But Sasquatch, and not even in this game. I mean, I don't want to call it game too soon. I mean, Specialist has definitely got the skill to take this down. But at this juncture, Sasquatch absolutely setting himself up for a potential win in this game. But yeah, I mean, we'll be excited to see some infestors out on the field. This build ought to make an Icefire that I know extremely happy. Going to be getting some spine crawlers down here as well for drop defense. He knows that his opponent probably is going to try and resort to drops. We do see a drop headed out actually right now. And it is 2 medevacs, a chuck full of Marines. These guys going to start dropping here in just a moment. Spine crawler is going to be at the ready. He's scouted. And are these guys going to turn around? There we go. Taking out one of those spine crawlers. Here comes the cavalry for Sasquatch. Going to clean it up fairly quickly there. Interested to see no fungals going down there on the medevacs there. Didn't stop them, so kind of interesting. But these guys are going to back out. They didn't do tons of damage, so the losses for Specialist going to start to mount here if he is not careful. But he does have tanks now out on the field. Could be going for a big Marine tank push. Not a bad choice here. At this point, it can be extremely difficult to deal with as a Zerg player. You've really got to get good positioning in and just be super, super careful. But Sasquatch seems to have a strong enough lead where that is not going to be too difficult to deal with. Notice that his economic lead is ridiculous now, 70 drones to 51 SCVs, and Specialist got actually 51 SCVs is a lot for 2 base, and notice that his main is going to be mined out. Here, it's coming up pretty quick. We're going to start running out of mineral patches here fairly soon, so he's got to consider the the fact that he may need to expand here in just a little while. And yeah, that could be very interesting, but he is going to be going for a big drop here. Kind of a doom drop in many respects. He's got tanks in here. Looks like 3 tanks total. Oh, he got scouted though. Sasquatch going to see this now, and he's going to be putting these tanks down on the low ground. Going to be safe from... Oh my goodness! And a lot of damage being dealt here. Look at that. Sasquatch's response there was to toss infested Terrans down right in his opponent's face. I don't know if that was the greatest idea, but it definitely seemed to work for just a moment. However, SPeCiaLiST still pushing this attack, and he's got 3 tanks alive out of 3. So those tanks did live, and that is big stuff right there. Going to be moving forward here, going to be taking out the economy. Looks like Sasquatch really got to be careful here as he moves forward. Good Fungal's going down. He's got to be careful though. Those tanks just blasting away those links so very quickly. Good chain Fungals though going down. Looks like they are going to alleviate these medevacs of their lives here shortly. He just needs a couple more. Here come those lings. Oh, almost needed to get a Fungal down there so he wasn't in range of those tanks. That's okay. It looks like he is going to hold on for just a moment longer here. Sasquatch not in terrible shape, but this is a big comeback in many ways here for SPeCiaLiST. Going to be bringing some more units up here to the high ground, another tank on the high ground as well. And that's going to be very, very nice. Should be able to kite forward here and get himself in range of that hive. And that can be really difficult to deal with. Zergling's getting in there, trying to spread some of the damage of those tanks over to the Marines, but not quite enough to do it right now. And Sasquatch going to be taking a beating here for just a little while. He is going to be getting his banelings out. Notice that baneling nest about 50% complete on the production tab. And it looks as though Sasquatch may end up sacking this base. Oh my goodness, he is going to sack it. He's going to deal with this force in the center of the map. SPeCiaLiST going to be pushing out across the map here with a fairly large force. A whole bunch of siege tanks here in the center as well. Infested Terran's going to help blast these guys away, but going down so quickly there. Nice play so far from SPeCiaLiST, and does take out the hive back here at the main, and Sasquatch now in absolute brutal shape. Oh my goodness. And Icefire out of the live stream says, and that's why we break down rocks. Great point there. You always want to, if you can, early in the game when you're not doing tons with your lings, break down these rocks, open up those paths. You don't want to have this thing happen to you right here. And now Sasquatch going to have to fall down to his natural. He is in absolute dire straits right now. SPeCiaLiST just pushing. He did take his 3rd. It is mining like crazy at this point, and has got decent defenses there. But this attack here just pushing forward slowly but surely, and SPeCiaLiST gearing up now to take the win. So beautiful shape, a great turnaround there, and it came down to that micro. And we do have some ultras out on the field. This is going to be fairly helpful here. As long as you can get these guys into the correct position there. Good amount of infested Terrans going down as well to help soak up some of that damage. While the ultras, though, getting focused down here fairly quickly. Oh, are they going to be able to take out enough tanks? Yes, it looks like they will. Wow, great job there from Sasquatch, actually. Not too bad. Didn't quite turn the tides of this battle. I'd still have to give the lead to SPeCiaLiST at this point. And here he goes with yet more units. Looks like this Ultralist is going to try and back out. May even see a Queen hit that guy up for a transfuse. That would be nice. But yeah, yep, maybe go ahead, Queen. You can transfuse that guy anytime you want. But it looks like Sasquatch is going to back out. The nice thing for Sasquatch is he does have 3 bases. He's going to be securing his 4th now. But he did lose his hive. He did lose a lot of tech structures that he had to rebuild. And now this attack here from SPeCiaLiST is going a little bit further here on the high ground. But not. It looks like he held that off in pretty decent style there. So nice play from Sasquatch. Getting these guys, the only thing left is 2 medevacs. Everything else died there. Let's see what else Sasquatch going to be doing. He is tossing down another macro hatch. Got to have it. Lair on the way here. Got to get that done. Back into his tech there. Not a bad idea. Nice thing is he did get an Ultralist cavern up just in time to salvage this game. Pretty good stuff, but now SPeCiaLiST in phenomenal shape. His main is just about mined out, but he is securing a 4th base, so his mining should be able to continue for just a little while. At this exact same pace. Sasquatch going to be pushing forward here. He does have quite a few units here. Going to be getting these Ultralisks, trying to get him into range of the tanks. Taking these guys out fairly quickly. Wow. Specialist too much to handle right now. Looks like Sasquatch going to have to back out there for just a moment. He does have a pretty decent bit of damage being dealt by these guys. Look at that. 43 versus armored, 19 damage. Normal. Gotta love +6 armor on these guys as well. So good stuff. But here comes the attack from Specialist. Going to be cruising forward here. He's got just as many medevacs as he's got Marines just about there. That's crazy. Good stuff, though. That's what you want to see. And we're going to see, it looks like some more Marauders out on the field. Notice that we do have that +3/+3 complete. I mean, Specialist, when he committed there, he was dead serious about making that happen. Looks like we are going to have a Zergling run by here. Going to clean out a lot of SCVs at this location. Good idea. Got to try and keep these... Wow. Got to try and keep this economy at bay. Looks like he may get the snipe on this command center. Does start it on fire. Probably going to get healed, though, here in just a little bit. And Specialist's going to be tracking these Zerglings down. He's like on the hunt right now, trying to kill him. Good stuff. Did hunt those guys down. Let's just take a look at Sasquatch army here. He's got +2, +5 on these ultras there. Got to love that. Perfect. But Infestors here, not a bad choice. It's just Sasquatch struggling to get his army composition up to the point that it needs to be against Specialist's army, which is now currently maxed out just about. He is going to have some Thors out on the field here. He's got a great unit composition. I like that he's mixing in a good amount of Marauders. The Marauders really going to do a lot of damage to those Ultralisks. Be able to help take those suckers down just a little bit faster there. A couple more Ultras going to be joining the fray here, and it looks as though it may be go time. A little bit of sacking here, I think, for Specialists. Specialists just killing these guys for no reason. Maybe not. Not going to die, but here comes the attack. The main engagement here. Sasquatch going to be getting these guys into position here. Going to try and take these guys down. Is Sasquatch going to have quite enough to deal there? A lot of Ultras still on the field here, but they are starting to dwindle in their numbers. A lot of these guys now in the red. Looks like he is going to be taking out a couple more tanks, a couple more Ultras joining the fight here. But these Infestors just need to get good fungals there. That is definitely going to be helpful. Look at these tanks, though, spread out so very well here by Specialists. Going to be in great shape. Looks like we are going to see 5 Ultras now cruising into this natural, though, of Specialists. Could potentially take this guy down. Not a bad deal. Sniped on that expansion there and going to back out immediately. However, he did lose 1 Ultralist there, but not that big of a deal. However, in the meantime, Specialist going to be cruising down here with those Marines that he tried to sack. And this medevac going to try and take out some units here. Good fungals going down. Looks like he should be able to clean this up in fairly decent time. Good job there from Sasquatch. Sasquatch transitioning here into a pretty interesting play. I'm liking this Ultralisk play here. I was a little bit skeptical to see how that was going to work, to be honest, against tanks and Thors, but wow, he really did a great job there. That armor is so ridiculous there. It's exactly what you need against these Terran armies. But now cruising out across the field, Sasquatch with a slight lead here. Specialist going to be taking another base. He's got to have it at this point, and he has taken some substantial losses there economically, but look at that. He still has more harvesters. Here comes your main attack, though. Looks like this base, the only mining base right now for Specialist, and Specialist about to lose all of his SCVs at this one location. In the meantime, we've got all of these Ultras cruising in here, just buying these Lings time to clean this up. Oh my goodness, this is brutal. Look at that. Specialist down to 19 SCVs. And now we got these Zerglings of Sasquatch cruising around the map here, just going to be running around at free will. Sasquatch now can just macro whichever way he wants, and I think this may end up being game here. These Lings may even be able to clean up this army. Going to be taking out the siege tanks, focusing down what he thinks is best at this point. I like that play. Just very well there. Nicely done from Sasquatch. And he does have 3 mining bases, well, 4 mining if you count this little base here, his natural, but he's got to be careful. It is going to be mined out. But solid economy right now for Sasquatch, so he seems to be in fairly decent shape. Still producing Ultralisks. He's got a lot of Infestors out on the field here, and going to be getting out some Ultras here in just a moment. Let's see how many he's got. 3 in production right now, so not bad. But he is transitioning a little bit out of the heavy Ultra here for just a little while. Probably going to have more Lings. Is going to be a little bit better against these Marauders. But here comes your main attack. Good fungal going down there, stopping the kiting from Specialist. Great stuff. Taking out the tanks, and looks like he may be going for the kill here. These guys can be working on this wall off. There is a couple minerals here, but not enough. That's to be mining, that's for sure. And this wall off now going down here. Sasquatch going to be in a little bit of trouble. There is a drop going down for SPeCiaLiST up here, it looks like. Going to do some economic damage there. But these ultras just basically have free reign at this point. SPeCiaLiST having to rely on his mules to keep his economy going at this point, and that is just brutal. He's keeping his economy in as low as possible, though. I should say Sasquatch is trying to keep his opponent's economy super low. Now, we did get this hatchery sniped here. That's going to deny one mining base here for Sasquatch, but all in all, he should be okay. Here comes the cavalry of infestors. Infestors, oh, got to be on, not on aim, or got to be on a little bit more careful, let's put it that way. Is going to take those guys down in fairly decent time here. Units tab going to show that he still has a slight economic advantage. How about a rockin' economic advantage? But here comes some lings. Looks like these guys going to destroy this planetary fortress here potentially. Planetary is getting healed, but you can see it's starting to die. Is it going to take enough damage? Nope, it is going to live. Beautiful stuff from SPeCiaLiST. Barely getting enough heal down on that to make it happen. Oh, and there's the GG from SPeCiaLiST. He saw that, those ultras cruising up there, not going to be enough to deal with it. And great game. Sasquatch did take down game number 1. So thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Game number 2 will be headed your way here in just a moment. Don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is SPeCiaLiST versus Sasquatch. It is a semifinal matchup here in our all-league tournament. The ALT-Stracraft's Arena Open is what it's called. Go check it out if you have not heard of it before. But good stuff here. It is game 2 out of this best-of-3 matchup, and SPeCiaLiST currently down 1 game to Sasquatch's brilliant, absolutely brilliant play with those Ultralisks in that last game. A lot of back and forth between these two guys in game number 1. It was a good long game too, that is for sure. But now we're going to be seeing SPeCiaLiST spawning as our blue Terran. Down here at the bottom left-hand corner, top right, is Sasquatch. He is spawning as Pink Zerg. Going to be sending out his Overlord Scout here in just a little bit. Looks like he will reach the other side of the map here in, a couple seconds or so, right? Okay, maybe not. But SPeCiaLiST here going to be working on a wall off. Should see his... Oh, yikes. We got a little bit of lag there. Ruh-roh. Okay, there we go. We're cool. We're cool. SPeCiaLiST says, yeah, you want that easy win. That's funny. SPeCiaLiST with a nice sense of humor there, that's for sure. I like it. SPeCiaLiST going to be putting the heat on. I like that. I like his attitude here. That is what we want to see. He's got to go 2 games in a row, which is not that hard. Best of 3s, though, are always tough, because if you lose your first game, it means you've really got to be careful as you move forward. But good stuff so far from Sasquatch. We do have a very fast expand here from Sasquatch, and no bunkers, interestingly enough, from SPeCiaLiST. Of course, SPeCiaLiST hasn't even scouted quite yet. So it looks like Sasquatch going, well, I'm stuck in this base, so we'll go ahead and do some extractor tricking for just a little while. But we do have a barracks about to be complete, so probably going to see some Marines on the field. We do have a fairly fast refiner here from SPeCiaLiST as well. So good stuff. See how he's going to proceed. In the meantime, looks like this hatchery is going to be almost 50% complete. He does now have his spawning pool on the way, his gas complete, and yes, he is going to saturate it there. So good stuff. Units tab going to show 16 to 16 for that harvester camp, but we should see an orbital command here in just a minute, which will give SPeCiaLiST a slight economic advantage with those mules there. Reactor going down here for SPeCiaLiST, so it is not going to be a Reaper opening. but a factory going down right behind, so we probably are going to see some Hellions. Got to love Hellions. Spawning pool, though, is about to complete. Probably should see some Queens right away from Sasquatch. And, ooh, what do we got here? Roach Warren. Good, fast Roach Warren here from Sasquatch. We'll see how that's going to go for him. Those tend to be fairly effective against those Hellion plays, so good stuff there. But cruising into the base here, looks like a specialist just trying to figure out what's going on. And probably sad to see that there are lings that are going to chase him down. What is he saying? DER. Durr. Looks like he may even make it out across the map. That SCV is speedy. Looks like he's going to live, ladies and gentlemen. Clap your hands. Wow, that SCV even got into the fight, got one of the 2 kills. Got to love that. Looks like this extractor did complete. We've got a couple Marines here working away at it. They're like, target practice! Right on! And off they go, shooting that living structure to pieces. Got to love these violent individuals. And we are going to see some roaches cruising out across the map here for Sasquatch. Wow. Quick push here, potentially. Should see. See how Sasquatch going to be able to deal with that. Now, he does have a decent amount of Marines. He's going to have to worry about this with the Hellions, though. Uh-oh, one Hellion getting a little bit out of position. Is going to see the roaches coming up the ramp, though, here in just a moment. This roach almost dead. Trying to find his reinforcements there. Oh, one did die. Sasquatch, ooh, he is going to back out here. Wow. Interesting. I thought he would have fared okay. But backing out, definitely a safe move. He is going to be on 2 base right now, so the nice thing for Sasquatch moving forward here is he does have a slight economic advantage. Well, I mean, not really income-wise, but he is on that 2 base, which will help him a little bit, especially if he can deny the expand for his opponent. Now, notice that Specialist did call down the extra supply here instead of using his energy for mules, so kind of interesting. But he did use that, which is going to cost him a little bit of mining there off of this 1 base. But it is going to be a push. We do have Specialist cruising out across the map with 3 Hellions. These guys going to try and make it into a Sasquatch base here, I would assume, here in just a moment. It looks like Sasquatch still going to be in fairly decent shape. He's got plenty of roaches kind of spread out. So it looks to be good. We are going to see a couple drones die here, I think. 1, 2 die. Not a bad little snipe there from Specialist. Still no expand from Specialist, though. Oh, my goodness. He is pulling probes, or SCVs, rather, and cruising out across the map. He does have a great deal of Marines. Good old bunch of Hellions. He does have a Banshee in here as well. The Banshee going to be clutch in this battle. He's really going to have to rely on that Banshee to stay alive, as well as potentially take out the Queens. So we'll see how that's going to go. Sasquatch here with a whole bunch of Lings. Does scout his opponent coming his way. Here comes your Lings getting into the fight. We've got a good bunch of roaches here, but not quite enough. Production going to show that there are more Lings on the way. Wow, look at that. Those roaches may end up being enough. I'm very mystified here. It didn't seem like quite enough. Oh, looks like he may have got some reinforcements, but just 1 Banshee died. Looks like this one may go down as well, which is a big one there for Sasquatch. And there it is. Look at that. Specialist tossing out the nice compliment there. Perfect defense, he says, and gives the GG. Wonderful play. Sasquatch taking 2 games in a row there. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys in just a bit.